Okay, before I go to the example, so I've written something. Before that, let's have a small recap of whatever we discussed in the last class. So definitely we discussed up to those loops section, and before those loop sections we saw some jumps like DJ NZ, and there was a table. Table was like JZ, JNZ, DJNZ, CJNE, and all these things. So all those jumps are known as conditional jumps. Okay, so it is written all conditional jumps are short jumps. Okay, so you are still not familiar with short jumps. For the time being, you know what are conditional jumps. Conditional jumps are those jumps where you will perform the jump based on some conditions. There is another thing known as unconditional jump as well, which we'll discuss next after this example. So the thing is, all conditional jumps are short jumps. So you still don't know what is short jumps. When we will discuss unconditional jumps, at that time you will understand what is the meaning of short jump. At that time you will understand why I have said this thing, that all conditional jumps are short jumps. So let us start with example 3.5. The main thing of example 3.5 is, if you remember our previous class, we performed the operation like this, 25 into 10. We performed this multiplication using looping. The result was 250. But the question is, if you multiply two numbers, so if you are trying to multiply two numbers using registers, that means at best you can multiply two 8-bits number. If you multiply two 8-bit sized numbers, the maximum result can be in 16-bit. So that means in a single byte, you cannot always store your result. So what will happen if your result exceeds 8 byte? That is the main question. So what will happen if your result exceeds 8 bits, sorry, not byte, 8 bits or 1 byte? What will happen if your result exceeds 8 bit? So the question over here for this particular example is, multiply the numbers okay, so this is your question. Multiply the numbers 0ECH by 25H. I suggest you sit with a calculator. So if you have a calculator and if you try to multiply these two numbers, you will see that the result is beyond 8 bits. So you need, somehow you have to accommodate the answer. So this example will demonstrate how you can answer, how you can accommodate a result which is bigger than 8 bit. Let me write the code first, then I'll explain. All right, so this is the solution. If I multiply these two numbers, this is how we accommodate. So let me explain. So initially, R1 is having the value 0. Why, you will understand at the end. So just let's see. R1 has the value 0. We have cleared accumulator registers because we will use these registers for adding purpose. We cannot use any other register for addition purpose other than register A. So register A will be involved and we are clearing this register. Then R0 contains the value 25H. Why? Because of this value over here. So R0 contains 25H. Now you come to this level, that is again add A, 0 is CH. So initially your A contains the value 0. So with 0, you will add 0 is CH and the result will be stored in A. Then you'll come over here. Jump is no carry. Then here. So when you are adding 0 is CH with 0, definitely there will be no carry. So forget what will happen over there. So we'll come to here. I mean, this condition will be fulfilled for the first time. So because there will be no carry. So we'll jump to this level here. DJ NZ R0 again. So now R0 will become 24H and we'll jump to this level again. Then what we'll do, add A, we'll add another 0 ECH. Again, we'll check whether there is a carry or not. Again, we'll come over here. So you see what is happening is your R0 is going on decreasing and you are going on adding 0 ECH. At some stage, the result of this addition, I mean, before you reach 0 in R0, at some stage you will see that the result exceeds 8 bit. That means you cannot accommodate the result in register A. When that situation happens, definitely there will be a carry out from the MSB of your register A. So this condition will be violated. Jump if no carry. So that means there will be a carry. So this condition will be violated. So you will not jump. What you will do if there is a carry? If there is a carry, you will increment your R1. So this is your R1. R1 previously contained 0. So you will increase your R1 to 1. Then again you will decrease R0 and you will jump over here. So every time you will perform this addition and every time you will check whether there is a carry or not. If there is a carry, I mean every time there is a carry, then every time you will increase your R1. So what are you actually doing? You are shifting or you are storing the upper byte of your result in R1. So R1 will contain the MSB or upper byte of your result and your A will contain the lower byte or LSB your result, which you ultimately transfer to R0. So finally, when R0 will become 0, you will not jump again, you will come over here. So see, when will you come? You will come in this line only when your R0 becomes 0. So when R0 becomes 0,
Sir, can you go a little bit slow?
Okay, which portion did you not understand? Tell me.
Sir, after R1 becoming 1, then
After R1 becoming 1. Okay. So you are incrementing R1 every time there is a carry. Say for the first time there is a carry, you incremented R1. So R1 became 1. Next time you perform this addition again and you find another carry, again you will increment R1. So every time there is a carry, you will keep on incrementing your R1. So every time you perform this addition, if there is a carry, you increment R1. So try to understand what you are doing. You are trying to store the upper byte of your multiplication result, whatever you get, if you by multiplying these two numbers, whatever you get, you are storing the upper byte of your result in R1. And your lower byte is stored in A, which you transfer to R0. So R0 contains the LSB of your result. That means when you multiply these two numbers, the result is stored in R1 and R0, where R1 contains the upper byte and R0 contains the lower byte, making it a 16-bit result. Now if you have any question, you can ask.
Sir, I did not understand the part of R1. How is it being the upper byte?
How it is being the upper byte? Try to understand this portion, that when you are adding, this addition takes place in binary format, right? So if the addition takes place in binary format, you can always have a carry of only 1, unlike our decimal addition. In our decimal addition, we can have a carry of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a lot of numbers, right? We can have those. But in your binary addition, you can only have a carry of 1. So when you are adding two binary numbers and you are getting a carry, what does it mean? So say you are adding two binary numbers and the result is 127. This is the largest binary number that you can accommodate in a 8-bit registers. So what happens if your result is 128? So see, when your result is 127, your binary format is this. This is your binary for 127. When the result becomes 128, your binary is something like this. So see, now you need 9 bytes. So what is happening? When you exceed this size, that means when you exceed 127, there is a carry out from the MSB of this number. So what you do, you transfer this MSB into R1. You are incrementing R1 by 1. So now say your R1 contains the value 1 and your R0 contains this entire 0. So together R1 and R0 gives you the result of 128. This logic is extended over here or is applied over here. Did you understand now?
Yes, sir.
Everyone understood? Clear? Is it understood, everyone? Please let me know.
Sir,
Yes,
no,
sir.
sir. No, sir, sir. The last part, sir.
One portion, bolo.
Sir, about the, sir, after getting the carry, sir, 1. And then what we do, sir, as for R1, sir?
Okay. So let's take an example. So say you are adding, okay? Say at some stage, the value in A is 11111111. That means the value in A is 127. Now in the next instruction, you are adding another one with A. So if you perform this addition, your result is something like this. And there is a 1 carry. That means what? This number is actually 128, but your A can accommodate only this portion. So what is the result in A? The result in A is 0, right?
Yes, sir.
But if you can incorporate the whole number, then the actual result is 128. So in this particular example, there is a carry out from the MSB. That is, there is an extra carry 1. So whenever there is a carry 1, you increment your R1. So now R1 contains the value 1. At this stage, suppose now the result is, now if you add another 1, so what will happen? You can have another 127 numbers stored in A. So at some stage, your R1 is having 1, and as you keep on adding, your A will once again reach this format.
Yes, sir.
Right? Then again, suppose you are adding another A. Add another A. So what is the result?
Another carry, sir.
Exactly, another carry. So you add another carry over here. So when you are adding 2 carries over here, then when you combine this R1 with A, then you see the whole picture. I mean, you get the result in 16-bit format. Did you get the point now?
Sir, last line, sir. Why 6 R1 plus A, sir?
Over here, to
Yes.
represent 128, how many bits do you need?
Sir, 128, sir, 9 bits.
bits, right? So from 9 bits, you can need 10 bits as well, right?
Yes, sir.
How many bits are there in R1?
Sir, 8 bits.
8 bits. So 8 bits plus 8 bits. What is the maximum number you can
Yes.
store? A 16-bit number, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is how we are doing it. Did you get your answer now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other question? So the solution. So the problem was, what will happen if our result exceeds 8-bit? So this is the main solution. The main thing you need to use is this instruction. Jump if no carry, or if someone wants, they can use jump if carry also. It depends on their logic. But this is the jump, conditional jump, that you will use to bypass that problem and store your result in 2 registers. All right, moving forward. So these were all about your conditional jumps. Now let us see unconditional jump. Now let us move on to unconditional jumps. So definitely, as the name suggests, the control is transferred without any condition, unconditionally, to the target location. There are two types of unconditional jump. One is long jump and another is short jump. The main difference between these two jumps is on their instruction. Your long jump is a 3-byte instruction and your short jump is a 2-byte instruction. See, in both the cases, your first byte is the opcode. First byte is the opcode. But in long jump, your second and third byte together form the 16-bit address where it wants to jump. But in this short jump, only the second byte forms the address. So what happens if only one byte is allocated for the address? That means only 8-bit address is allocated. That means you can jump maximum of 127 bytes in the front or minus 128 bytes in the back, right? So this is because of the limitation of your only 1 byte address. But if you have a 16-bit address or 2-byte address, that means you can perform any jump within the memory location. So this is the main difference between long jump and short jump. So I told you that all conditional jumps are short jump. This is also because of this fact that all conditional jumps, in all conditional jumps, the instruction is 2-byte sized. So that's why all those conditional jumps are also known as short jumps. Now there is a catch over here. That is, this address is actually called the relative address. Why it is called the relative address? I'll explain with the example, which we'll understand inshallah. So just know that this is known as relative address. Right after this, I will explain this thing, that why it is called a relative address. Before I go to the example, I want to clarify something. In the last class, I think right at the end, there was a question whether program counter and stack pointer are same thing or not. And most probably I said that those are the same thing. And I'm sorry, I was wrong. Those are not the same thing. See the differences. Your program counter is a 16-bit register, whereas your stack pointer is an 8-bit register. Your stack pointer comes into play only when your stack operations are there. By stack operations, I mean if there is a push pop instruction, if there is a call instruction associated with a return instruction, only in those cases your stack pointer comes into play. You will know what is call and return in the next class, inshallah. Okay, so in only those cases your stack pointer comes into play. But your program counter always plays at the background. In every instruction that you write, your program counter is always there. All right, so these two things are actually two different things, and I have said that these were same, and I'm sorry for that. So is it clear? Okay, up to this, if there is any question apart from this relative address, because I will explain relative address after this. So apart from this relative address, if there is any question, you can ask now.
Sir, about the jumping back and forward, sir, you said forward 127 and backward
yes.
minus 120. Sir, why? What was the reason?
Because when you start your forward jump, you start from 0. So 0 is also counted. But when you go for backward jump, you start from -1, not from 0.
Yes, sir. But what was the reason of, sir, limiting?
Oh, what was the reason? Because
Yes, sir.
Your instruction is 8-bit. So what is the maximum number you can store in 8-bit?
127.
Yeah, so that's the reason. I mean, see, it says first byte is the opcode, second byte is the address, right? So you need to specify the address in the second byte. So you cannot specify more than 127 in the second byte. So how can there be a jump more than 127 if you cannot specify that, right?
Yes, sir. So
Okay,
in case of long jump, sir, it's 2 bytes, sir.
exactly, it's 2 byte. All right, up to this.
Yes, sir.
Any other question, anyone? Okay, if there is no question, then for this next example, it will be better if I use Word file and not this whiteboard. I will suggest you that write with me. If you have, okay. If you have your book, it is fine. You may not write, but if you do not have the book, I highly suggest you that you write with me. So this is basically your example 3.6 of the book. Try to understand this portion, okay? It might be a little bit tricky if you don't follow. So to explain this, I will need a table. So that's why I have come over here. How many columns I need? And sure. I will need a lot of rows. Say this is your simply line number. This is your program counter. Over here we will have our opcode. We will have our labels. You can see my Microsoft Word, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Over here we will have our mnemonic, and over here we will have our operands. Okay, let me write the code first.
Sir,
Yes,
you have written increment A twice.
yes, that is intentional. It is there. Okay, let us begin. So this is a very simple code.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Quick. If you want, I will send you this Word file. Okay, let me finish explaining. I'll send you this Word file. Don't worry. All right. So this is a very simple code. I mean, labels, mnemonic, operands. There is nothing to explain in the code. In line also, there is nothing to explain. I mean, this is the first line of your code, second line, third line, on all this. But look at the program counter. This is something that you need to understand. You see how the program counter is increasing. You remember that the program counter is a 16-bit register, but you see sometimes the program counter increments by 2 bytes, like over here. Sometimes it increments by a single byte. So why is it like this? This is totally dependent on the opcode. Okay, it is totally dependent on the opcode. So let me start explaining the opcodes. For the first instruction, if you remember from your previous classes, origin is a directive. It is not an instruction. So if it is a directive, there will be no opcode generated. So there will be no opcode for the first time. Now for move instruction, the opcode is 78. You don't have to memorize this thing, and there is nothing to explain. I mean, why for move R0? In order to move something to R0, the opcode is 78, and this is just, I mean, these are some straightforward syntaxes, so you don't have to memorize it. But see, this for moving into R0, this is a 1 byte instruction. But when you are moving a value directly to a register, then after the opcode, it should be followed by the corresponding value. So what is the value you are moving? You are moving 00. So the opcode becomes 7800. So you see the opcode is a 2 byte instruction. That's why from here to here, your program counter incremented by 1. Okay, it might not yet be clear. So let's see the following one. The another is move A. In order to move something to A, the opcode is 74. But see again over here, you are moving a value directly. So if you are moving the value, then after the opcode, it should be followed by the value. So what will we write after 74?
55.
Exactly, 55. So this is the opcode for moving A, hashtag 55H. So once again, you see the opcode is a 2 byte instruction. So from 2 to 4, your program counter incremented by 2 bytes. You might have a lot of questions stored. Let me explain first, then I will try to answer your questions. Now come over here, jump 0 next. This is a conditional jump, and we have just said that all conditional jumps are 2 bytes or 3 bytes.
2 bytes.
2 bytes.
Exactly, all conditional jumps are 2 byte instruction. So definitely over here also you will have a 2 byte instruction. So what is the first byte in the 2 byte instruction? The first byte is the opcode, right?
Opcode, sir.
Okay, so the opcode is 60. There is no explanation why 60. So let me leave it like 60 over here. But the second byte is the relative address. I told you. For the time being, I am just writing XX. I will show you how to calculate the relative address. Then we will complete the opcode. But look at the relation with the program counter. This is also a 2 byte instruction. So your program counter incremented by 2. Now, when you increment R1, this is a single byte instruction. No value or address are involved. So this is a single byte instruction, and the opcode is 08. Again, there is no explanation. The opcode is 08. It is 08. So you don't have to memorize it. Okay, it is just there. Again, for incrementing A, the opcode is 04. Nothing to explain. So we have got 2 increment. So definitely both the opcodes will definitely be same. Look at all these 3 instructions. All these 3 instructions are single byte instruction. That's why your program counter is incrementing by 1. If your opcode is a 2 byte instruction, your program counter increments by 2. If your opcode is a single byte instruction, it increments by 1. Now let's see. Now tell me, okay, there is a mistake over here. This over here, there will be a hashtag. All right. So to add something to register A or accumulator A, the opcode is 25. Will there be anything after? Sorry, the opcode is 24. Will there be anything after 24?
Yes, sir.
What will be there?
7 7.
Exactly. So now you get the idea. So there is a opcode. If there is a direct value involved, that value automatically comes to the opcode. All right. Now over here we got another jump. Jump no carry over. All right. For jump no carry, the opcode is 50. And as I said, the relative address will leave it blank for the time being. We'll explain it a little bit later. Now all these things, next things are straightforward. For clearing A, the opcode is E4, then the opcode. See, when you are moving from a register to register, this is a single byte instruction. No value is involved. Just F8 means move the contents from A to R0. Similarly, F9 means move the contents from A to R2. I like this. So, I mean, you don't have to memorize it, okay? Just look at these things. So F4, E4, F8, F9, then is FA, then is FB. Then for adding, see the difference. Over here, we are adding two registers. There is no value involved. So again, the instruction is a single byte instruction. This is not a 2-byte instruction. Right. Over here, we have got another conditional jump. So the opcode is, first of all, it's 52. Something you don't have to memorize. It is just there. But this XX, you have to understand how, I mean, what will be the value? I'll explain. And at last, we have got another short jump. Opcode is 80. Address, let's leave it like this. And the last one, N, is a directive. So there will be no opcode. Now let us try and calculate the value of this XX. I told you that the value is known as the relative address. And this relative address is given with respect to the program counter. How can you add this? See, what it says, jump if 0 to next. So see, what is the address of next? Tell me, what is the address of next?
Zero 009.
Exactly. The address of next is 0009. How did you understand? Because program counter contains the address. So the address of next level is 09. So let me write over here 09. It must be equal from where you are calling. See, you are calling from this line. So you will consider the following address, not the address of the exact line, because you're already over here. You will consider this following address. That means 06. With 06, you will add this XX. So plus XX, the result should give you 09. And remember, all calculations are in hex. So if you solve it, what is the value of XX? Tell me.
03, sir.
Exactly, it is 03. So if that is the case, your XX becomes 03. Okay, let us see this example now. Okay, don't worry, those who did not understand, look at this example now, because this is the next one. Okay, jump if no carry to over. So what is the address of over?
001.
12, right? So the address of over is 12. It must be equal to, from where you are calling, from this line. So it must be equal to 0D plus XX. So 0D plus XX should give you 12. So what is the value of XX now?
5.
How much?
5. 0.
05, definitely. So this XX now becomes 05. Now let me see who can answer, because this is a backward jump. All these two are example of forward jump. So apply the same logic and tell me what will be the value in this line number 16. What will be the value? Come on, just apply whatever I have said. If you have a calculator, it will take 5 seconds. If I try to do with you, the address of again is what is again? The address of again is 07.
11.
Wait, the address is 07, not 11. Did someone say 11?
F1, sorry.
f1 একটু ভুল করছো। So what should we get? We should write 15 plus xx. So 15 plus xx is 7. So what is the value of xx? Come on, use your calculator.
So 0e.
Sir, F2.
Exactly, F2. I don't understand why you are making this mistake. The answer is F2. If you use your calculator, the result you will get is something like this: F, a lot of F, then F2. If you remember, all these previous F's represent your sign bit. So you are only interested in the last 2 digits. That's it. In your calculator, these are only for sign bits. Because see what you are doing. You are doing 07 minus 15. So definitely the answer will be in negative. So that's why you will get extra F. So the answer will simply be F2. So this becomes F2. What is the last? Now tell me, what is the last instruction over here? All of you must be able to answer this. Come on.
So 17 plus
Abba.
xx.
Yeah, you are telling the formula. Yeah, just tell me the answer. Right, you are right. 17 plus xx should be equal to
02. Sir,
should be equal to
15, sir. 15.
15.
15, sir,
Definitely,
15.
definitely. 17 plus xx should be equal to 15. If you solve, what is the answer?
02, sir.
Abar-
FE.
Sir,
Sir,
FE.
FE.
sir, FE, sir.
Exactly. Do the operation in hex.
FE, sir.
So see, very simple. So did you get the idea how we calculate these opcodes? Is it okay? All right. You might still have some confusion. Should I share this Word file or you have written everything?
So
Share the word file, sir.
Share the word file, please.
Share করলে ভালো হয়। এটা কেমনে সেভ করে? Okay, I think I can share, but it will be shared without the annotations. Most probably, I will share. I mean, all these writings will not be there. Okay.
sir,
These
you
red
can
colored
take a
writings.
screenshot, sir.
I need to take a screenshot. Okay, I have a snapping tool over here. Okay. Okay, I will share it with you. Everyone, please turn on your video. Get ready for a quiz. Be quick. Don't waste your time. Please turn on your video and get ready for a quiz. Most of you already had the idea that we will have a quiz, right? You should have. The thing is, you can either submit it as handwritten or you can use your Microsoft Word. The question is such that you can write the entire answer in your MS Word file. And I suggest you use MS Word file because in that way it will be faster to upload your answer because time is very limited. All right, you can, but if you prefer your handwritten, you can also do that. But remember, if you write with your hand, there must be page numbers. You need to take pictures, convert that into PDF, and then upload your answer. So I will suggest you, it is better if you can use the MS Word. Okay, everyone go to your Google Classroom. Those whose videos are off, I will check that. Those whose videos are off, you will get half of whatever you scored. Go to your classroom. It is 3:26, so your due date definitely today. Your last time check কতক্ষণ 3:27 already. So your last time to submit is 3:48 p.m. Okay, remember the last time to submit is 3:48 p.m. Do not submit late. Do not submit late. The question has been assigned in your Google Classroom. Please go to Google Classroom, start answering, and turn your video on. If you keep your video off, you will get half of whatever you score. Anyone from other section?